I'm on the hunt for more secrets. Show me, Vinny the Pincher, kneecappins, break-ins, casino enforcer. Oh no, 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 please, no, 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 no. I'm sorry for getting so personal. How about you, Inkspot Jackson, shiftiest dealeress? Master the 3-card Monty. Well, I could have guessed that just by looking at you. How about you? Are you any less predictable, Polly Shackles? Jailbirdius Maximus? Hates Coopers and Coppers. Alright, well. It's kind of funny, though. You know what? You live another day. Hello, everyone and everything, and welcome back to more Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. In the last episode, well, it's kind of hard to keep track, because I did it twice. But I'm pretty sure I know everything we did and everything we didn't do. In fact, there's one thing in particular I want to show that we didn't do, so I will cut away to that as a part of the loss of the initial recording. Or the failure to hit record, anyway. And one of them is this little scene here. It's funny, since I knew I had already done levels, or at least a level, over in the second half here, I kind of assumed that I already showed that, but I hadn't. And in this episode, we have but one stage left. In China. Let us away to our final challenge before the Panda King. Duel by the Dragon. Another 40-bottle challenge lies before us. And, you know, I'm getting a little nostalgic here because this is the last stage in the game with bottles. Let's make the most of it. Lots of fireworks this time around, though. Can't get enough of them. Absolutely love.
Raccoon!
How can I freeze when my heart warms at the very sight of you?
Shut up, Ringtail. I don't know what you're doing here in China, but I'm sure it can't be good for whoever owns this place.
You must only have eyes for me if you're too blind to see what's going on around here.
All I see is a pathetic thief who's escaped justice for far too long.
I'm proud to be a thief, especially when I'm stealing from a vicious extortionist like the Panda King. Open your eyes, detective. These quaint temples are a front for an illegal explosives factory.
Don't try to confuse the issue. You criminals are all the same, and none of you can escape justice.
Love the whole Robin Hood ideology that Sly has. So once again, our old rival Carmelita Fox comes to stand in our path. Let's do our best to avoid and evade her. She stepped up her game once again since our last encounter. Her shots are going to be very well aimed. And she's going to do a lot of destroying the path ahead of us instead of, ouch, instead of the path that we were just on. Ooh, she's gonna make this difficult. And the combination of hazards with her shots this time makes this an extremely difficult level, honestly. We're gonna head on down here, grab ourselves some bottles. A lot of the bottles should ideally remain in sight here. Because if we had to, like, dodge difficult hazards, avoid the inspector's shots, and focus on, like, well-hidden bottles, that'd be a lot. But it would make a fitting finale here. Ooh, good stuff getting the fireworks. Luckily, none of these hit the inspector. We are just trying to avoid her, right? Not take her out. Although sending her up to the stratosphere with a balloon, that was a risky gamble, Sly. It could have been the last you ever saw of her, and you don't know. Ooh, I'm always curious about what exactly happens to balloons once they get so high up. Let's see, I see one more firework over here. Gotta swing out and get it. They're getting pretty clever on us now. Let's move on. Okay. Carmelita. You and me have had our differences, but I think it's time that you stop shooting at me. Oh, that's nice. I'll be honest, I had no idea this was the exact point in the level where she stopped. Okay, she's back. Yeah, not going soft on me, alright? Alright, Fox? I have to say, I can't think... Whoa! I can't hear the name Inspector Fox without thinking of that old, humongous PC game. I don't remember if his name was Inspector Fox, but it was something pretty close to that. And he had all these, like, cool gadgets, like laser toothpaste, and he had to solve the mystery of why all the milk had disappeared, and there was dry cereal. Man, that was, I'm taking myself straight back to my childhood right now, also probably showing my age a bit, but... You know what, I embrace both those things. Okay, we are onwards and onwards. There was a big stretch there with no bottles, so hopefully it's not because I missed them all. Let's head over here. Grab them. Nice! And that's gonna do it for bottles. Now, we've got a whole section here where Carmelita's gonna get a little fancy on us and actually shoot some of the icicles in our path instead of at us. But we got through that, no problem. Let's light off these fireworks, even though I'm pretty sure we don't even need to.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. Multiple blood vessels burst in my brain while figuring this out. The code had better be 231.
Bentley, your sacrifices are not in vain. What's our prize?
You found the blueprints for the Panda King's lair. I'll upload the data straight into your binocucom.
And the reward for most useless page of the Thievius Raccoonus goes to... Congratulations on circumventing slow motion jumps. I love, like... I suppose it's just because of the way I did things skipping an earlier vault. That would have been helpful if I hadn't done that. But as it stands, there's not a single bottle we can even use to detect that now. Alright, Carmelita. You've hounded me long enough. Farewell.
Watch your back, Cooper. When you least expect it, I'll be there.
Okay, that may have been a bit more deadly than the balloon. Sly, I don't know. I don't know if that's as flirtatious as you might think. 7 keys. And that is our last key that we have yet to acquire. Mr. Panda King, you and I have got a date to keep. Thank you. That is all. Let's go ahead and unlock this. And prepare ourselves mentally for something very, very fun. Let's latch on. Let's miss the timing. 3, 4, 5. Come on. What are we messing up here? Slide. Oh, I gotta light it first. Okay. Now, onwards and upwards. Flame. Foo.
I see you carry Kane of notorious Cooper Thief clan. Have you come here for revenge? To steal back the Thievius Raccoonus?
That was my plan at first, but now I'm more interested in putting an end to your avalanche extortion racket.
Why should you care if I bury a few worthless village in snow? You are a thief, just like me.
No, that's only half right. I am a thief from a long line of master thieves, while you're just a frustrated firework artist turned homicidal pyromaniac.
Insolent child. You shall pay dearly for your disrespect. Still, to honor your Cooper ancestry, I will send you to your doom with the beauty of my new firework technique, Flame Foo.
Here we go. The Panda King is honestly the easiest boss in this game, but he's sort of traditional in that sense. Unlike every boss, other than him, phases don't end after a single hit. He's a bit more spongy than that, as you might expect from all that fur and blubber. But our goal is simply going to get up to him, learn and avoid his attacks. Most of them can be avoided just by jumping. And we move on and upwards. He's going to add a couple of attacks to his repertoire. This is the only one we can avoid by jumping. But other than that, you just kind of wail on him. And I've always felt like this fight has served to sort of exemplify how far Sly has come. He's really not at the mercy of him like he was Mugshot. You just go to town on this guy. Show him what's what for extorting those villages and causing avalanches like that. And that's it.
Your skill with that cane is unparalleled.
Sly, I did a cross-analysis of the metal used in that high-tech blasting vehicle, and it turns out it can only be found in one place. The Krakatoa volcano in Russia. That's got to be where we'll find the 5th member of the Fiendish Five. So get what you came for and let's get out of here.
Retrieving the Panda King section of the Thievius Raccoonus gave me a chance to learn about my technically minded ancestor, Otto Van Cooper. Not known for his physical dexterity, Otto relied on vehicles to aid him in his criminal endeavors. Armed with his designs, I was sure Murray would be able to make some cool modifications to the team van. A frustrated Inspector Fox, having missed me coming down the mountain, threw the Panda King in jail, thus putting an end to his avalanche protection services and ensuring the safety of mountain villages throughout China. My gang and I took a little time off and did some shopping in Hong Kong. Thoroughly relaxed, we headed home to plan our next move.
And that takes care of the Panda King. We do, of course, have a few more orders of business this episode. The first one is going to be at the Flaming Temple of Flame, because I want to show off what happens when you try to unlock the final vault. So I'll meet you guys up there. Okay, we made it up to the top. Let's see what we got.
Unfortunately, this vault code appears to have been written in owl dialect. I won't be able to crack the code until we meet and defeat the bird who created it.
Even a code that even Bentley can't pierce. Alright. We'll have to see just what that's about. But first, it is time for a speed run of one of my favorite levels, Descent into Danger. I know some skips here, but there are some difficulties involved. So let's get at it. First thing we're gonna do right off the bat is we're gonna crawl over here. We're gonna get up onto this bone, don't worry, he can't see us, and make this very precise jump. Alright, I guess not make that very precise jump, we'll see. Okay, on some reflection, I was doing it completely wrong and in a very difficult way that's only gonna end up saving us a couple of seconds. So what we're really gonna do is we're gonna go over here. Wait for the guy to turn his back. We're gonna do this the methodical way. That's gonna not get me killed about 16 times in a row. We're gonna jump up here, take this guy down, and use this little stick of wood here. It's a little janky, but nonetheless completely doable. I said, Sly, you gotta work with me here. Oh, okay, he's working. He's working. Not working. I would be up there already if I just went the normal way. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna jump us right on up over here. Success. And that is going to be the biggest skip in this level. I don't actually think there's much of any others that we could do. Uh-oh, no, we're good. So we're just gonna hop right on over, in and around, And we can pretty much take our time, because I think that skip, if I had to guess, I'd say it saves between 20 to 30 seconds. I did just trip the alarm, but we're honestly doing so well on time that I'm not even going to worry about it. Although if I were planning on tripping the alarm, I probably should have just gone straight through the laser wall like I did when I first played this level. We are actually coming down on time here, so maybe my very leisurely approach to speedrunning is not gonna cut it this time, but we might have it here. Well, I think I would have had to be a little more straightforward with these tiki torches. But we at least spawned the vine. We got on the vine. Let's give it another shot. Okay, Sly, this time you're gonna make that jump onto the stick first try, right? Well, that was my bad. Okay, I'm not gonna make you take the blame for that. I swear, they timed this guy so that he's always facing this point if you get here as fast as you can. They definitely had to have done that on purpose. Okay, so now, up here. Don't miss the rat. Up on the thing, alright. Up on the thing, Sly. Up on the thing, Sly. Sly. I'm telling you right now, I will put down this controller and you will be unable to move for the rest. Okay. I'm gonna stop that hollow threat while I'm ahead. Let's move on. We're gonna just wrap this whole thing up, no problem. I'm gonna ignore that first guy. He's gonna save me just a split second more. And you know, this time I am going to just bypass these snakes completely. Just run straight through here. Because the alarm is right here. I don't know exactly if this is going to save us any time. It's basically, well, it would basically be skipping the roundabout part with the snakes. Man, this level's kind of kicking me down a bit. Turn around. You know what would definitely be smart? Is if I grabbed the timer a second or two later, just to make sure, like, desynchronize that guy from the timing that we've been running into. If I fail this again, I'm definitely gonna do that. Sly, please, thank you. I refuse to believe that this is losing me any time, and if it is, then honestly, it's probably less. It's probably faster to go around, if only because it means that you can take a more efficient path through these candles here without having to beeline it straight for the alarm. Alright, your speedrun running ending days are over, Mr. Turtle, whose name I have routinely forgotten every time since I first scanned you. I guess it's just not as cool as Mojo Dupree over here. And that should just about finish us off here. The vine's gonna do the rest. Slide on down. And through the end. You know, only saved 12 seconds, so that skip must not actually be that helpful. Although maybe I lost a lot of time on the alarm. Who knows? Who cares? It's done. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to leave you guys, though, with the developer's commentary. Feel free to like that video, but know that if you do, I will honor your Cooper lineage with my ancient firework technique. Flame. Food.
This level is in many ways, in my opinion, the most sort of evolved from the standpoint of gameplay mechanics in the game. We do some really crazy things with the camera, like when you're sneaking around the edge and the icicles are falling at you, where we've constrained the player to a simple decision-making process, being left or right with the danger coming down on them. But because they're so constrained, you can do totally whack things with the camera and give you this image that you don't normally see in video games as a result. It's more cinematic, and it helps highlight the danger in the case of this level from the guards looking down on you when you sneak around the guard tower or the falling icicles. It's a nice change of pace from just having the top-down playable camera all the time.
You get a bizarre perspective.
Let me ask you this.
Okay,
So we were recording the voices for the game.
Yes.
And how weird is it to get the script? And the game it's kind of interesting to note that we are not trying to make a cartoon with the voices. Everybody's supposed to be pretty straight-laced. And you're one of the weirder voices in the game with your blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are very, very dry. Not hammy at all.
Sly Cooper.
If he was hammy, we would be in big trouble. But he takes it all seriously. How hard is it to take it seriously or even understand what's going on from this script?
Well, I would say it's actually pretty simple. The idea is that you get a character and you figure out what this character sounds like and what who they are and what they want without sounding too ridiculous. This is what it is. And you just say the lines like the character would say them. And fortunately, the lines are not too difficult to manage. A lot of them are, wow, press the circle button and you'll jump. And so it's pretty self-explanatory what you need to say, what you need to do. When you get into the crazier stuff about, I think on the other level about, she's making a disgusting soup out of guts and bones. It's just a matter of just going along with the lines and trying to be scared.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you, I don't think you can really use like Stanislavski method when you're trying to picture yourself as a turtle freaked out by a voodoo creation soup.
Well, it's all just the magic of make-believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, well, you say these lines too if you're writing them or reading them yourself. You say them and you know exactly what you're trying to get across. And the job of the actor, and I use that term loosely in my regard, is just to try and make sure that everything makes sense that's coming out of your mouth.
So Andrew, you modeled out this level.
Yes, another level that you designed.
What do you like about this world?
Let's see.
Or level, I should say.
What do I like about it? I like there's something great about the space. There, the fact that it's taking place, very quickly inside and then outside of these tall, narrow buildings, and that they form both the kind of foreground, sometimes the surroundings, and then actually the background, kind of the sideshow, the thing that you're looking at in the distance. So you're constantly seeing places that you've been before in the level from a distance, from a different vantage point, and I think that gives you this sense of continuous world more than some of the other ones maybe.
That was definitely a goal with a lot of these snow levels, was to give you that inside-outside feeling.
Right.
And this level starts with something that we thought was going to be really difficult for players, which was you get up to this door and it's locked and there's no way to open it. And there are two open windows that you can go in, and it's pretty easy to overcome. This level was actually made before the Paris level, but we had to test it and have people experience the frustration not being able to get through the door to know if it was gonna be okay or if it was gonna be too aggravating to include in the game. But that is a seriously simple mechanic that seems to reflect sort of breaking and entering.
Right.
And the whole level is like that. You're going in, you're going out, you're on top of roofs.
Always entering through windows, doors.
This level has a really bizarro laser grid on the floor.
Right.
And it's bizarro because there isn't a discernible pattern how you're supposed to go through it.
Right.
You look at it and you think, okay, if I study this long enough, I'll see that I need to go left, left, right, left.
Right.
But really, there's none of that. You can stare at it for 45 minutes and you won't see the same thing again because it's all just slightly out of cadence with each other.
Yeah.
So you have to you just have to make it up as you go along.
And once you get into the middle of it, it's pretty. I mean, there's if you're really paying attention, there's enough time to adjust to what's going on. But it's great because you've got everything out of phase enough that it feels very almost random. One thing about this level too, this is maybe one of the cases where we learned a little bit about not having the level designers model out quite as much of the actual terrain or the walls and things like that. So the buildings initially in this were fairly tightly modeled, and the gameplay was fairly tightly constrained to to the buildings, and they were, initially fairly straight, like a lot of the stuff is that we get after after level design has been through it. And so making it kind of funky and unusual was a little bit of a challenge, and eventually required us to go back in and change a little bit of the way the spaces were laid out and everything. But I think it ultimately worked out really well. But it was a challenging level because you've got gameplay both on the inside and the outside of these buildings. So the wall is very, in a lot of places we've got room to just push back the wall in places here and there, and in this one it was very tight, and it, brought up its own unique challenges that I think a lot of the other ones didn't have.
Nope. Oh man, I think I might have made that one if I hadn't completely forgot about avoiding the flashlight guard. There it is. Okay, so once we're up here, we're gonna hop right over to this one, another very precise jump. You know what? Okay, wait a minute, no, don't tell me I left my mouse on screen again! That's fine.